This post is about accessing your spirit guides through visual meditation. I'm going to use playing a video game as an analogy for how I use my imagination as a tool for counsel with my inner voices and taking inventory. Alright, imagine you're playing a video game similar to The Sims, because you're in control of designing the layout and characters. The intention of this video game is to create different levels representing different territories and design characters that represent archetypes suited to those spaces. The purpose of creating these different levels and avatars is to mirror the relationships you have with the various archetypes of yourself. You're creating a space to work with the various facets of your personality. For example, I hold the archetype of matriarch in high regard. I look to my inner matriarch for guidance navigating how I would like to show up for myself in order to show up for my family. The matriarch is regal. She is certain, compassionate, patient, and unwavering. In my imagination, or in this analogy in my video game, I'm going to consider where I would want to house this archetype. When designing a level for her, I'm going to build a brilliant stone temple, carved into a mountain range that floats in outer space. The view from her balcony looks out on colorful nebulas and millions of stars. Throughout her palace are gardens overflowing with flowers and food. There's a pleasant fragrance and soft music. She's kept company by animals who reflect her gentleness and power, such as butterflies, hawks, and panthers. When designing her, she is programmed to meet me, the player, with unconditional positive regard. She is always encouraging me, fortifying my confidence and validating my struggles. She models safety and kindness. Maybe I'm struggling with my relationship to women or to motherhood. Maybe I'm being hard on my femininity, doubting my capacity to show up as a mother or a partner. Boom! With this meditation, I've created a plane of existence where these aspects of myself are always accessible in a safe way. I now have a sacred space to tune in with this archetype, remember my personal power, maintain and heal my relation to the matriarch. Another example would be my inner soldier. To me, warriors represent discipline, protection, and grit. They represent the capacity to process and carry traumas for those they're defending. They represent camaraderie, being in service, and self-transcendent purpose. So when I build this level in my mind for the soldier archetype, I create a space that represents the peacetime. I will meet my inner soldier where they've laid down their sword and shield. Down by the riverside. We'll revel in this moment where we're not at war. There are no bombs dropping or enemy gunfire. We're just listening to the river, fishing, enjoying the campfire, going on occasional swims, looking for cool rocks, and sharing good humor. I create this safe space to meet my soldier archetype, to foster positive association with the servicemen. We meet in peace to fortify the concept that we are not seeking war, but are prepared for it. I create this avatar to conduct themselves similar to a coach. They let me know where I need to train, cut out distractions, fortify my self-discipline and internal resources. They show me how to deconstruct, clean, and maintain my weapons. Metaphorically, this looks like curbing my reactions and creating responses with the best interest of all. My inner soldier teaches bravery and autonomy in owning my personal battles. I believe this activity could be labeled as a form of unconditional co-regulation. Co-regulation is using relationships to assist you in achieving a regulated state. Conditional co-regulation is using their physical presence, including online or over the phone. Unconditional co-regulation is using their presence with your imagination. So even though these avatars are indeed a figment of my imagination, a projection of my consciousness, these interactions have a very real effect on my physical reality. I'm using this method as a form of adapting to the various changes I encounter throughout my life. I think of the archetype I wish to embrace in order to move forward, create an empowering space to meet them, have their actions reflect how I would like to show up for myself and others, and then embody this divine reflection. I'm curious, what archetypes would you like to embody, and how are you working with them? I will be going more in depth into this subject and these practices in my upcoming class, Meeting Your Spirit Guides. Thanks for taking a moment to tune in, and as always, I'm curious of your thoughts pertaining to this subject.